Hi, fourth graders. We are on lesson 7, exit ticket. So you'll need page 110 in front of you. So number 1 has several parts, and the directions say use the place value chart to answer the following questions. Express the value of the digit in unit form. And so when I do that, we are going to look at each question. I know already in my chart I have hundreds, tens, ones. There's my decimal point, tenths and hundredths. Okay, so it says the digit blank is in the hundreds place. So when I look up here in my hundreds, I have an 8. So the digit is 8. It has a value of, and this is when we want it in unit form, is what my directions told me. So that means I'll use the word, and so I could say it has a value of 8 hundredths. That's exactly what my place value told me. I'm going to leave B and C for you to do. Let's look at this one. The digit blank is in the hundredths place. So I'm looking hundreds, tens, ones, tenths, hundredths. Well, the digit is 4. And in unit form, I'll say it has a value of 4 hundredths. Now remember, the word's right there in front of you to be spelled correctly. Okay. Now number 2, I'm going to complete our chart, and I have a fraction. Both of these columns are using the expanded form. Remember, when we expand, we're stretching it out to get every place value, and then we'll rewrite it as a decimal. So I think we're going to just start, and I'm going to go ahead and look at our fraction and then transfer it to a decimal before I get to the expanded form. So my fraction reads 422 and 8/100ths. So I know that 422 is a whole number, so it ends up before my decimal. And then I have 8 hundredths, and that leaves a 0 in the tens and an 8 in the hundredths place. So there it is as a decimal. Let's go ahead and do the decimal notation together, and then I'm going to leave the rest for you. Remember, I'm stretching out each place value, and so I'm going to start with the 4. And I know that I'm multiplying that 4 just by 100. It's in the hundreds place. Next, I have a 2, and that's in the tens place. So remember, I'm adding in between. And I'll say 2, not times 100 this time, but 2 times 10. That's its place value. I have another 2 in the ones place, so I'll add up 2 times 1. Now, friends, if you're running out of room, you can always write underneath. It's quite all right. Or if you want to write it all under here, that's fine as well. Now, I'm not done. I have my whole numbers completed, but I still have those fraction parts. I don't have anything in the tenths place. I have 8 hundredths. And so the last thing I'm going to multiply is 8 times, remember I'm in the decimal notation, so I'm going to say 0.01. That makes the 100th place. Okay. You'll need to do the fraction, and guess what, friends? It's going to be so similar. The only thing you'll change is where I put a decimal, and instead over here you'll write it as a fraction. Now, the last thing we'll do together is let's look at this fraction notation and turn it just into our written standard form. So as I look at this, I say 3 times 100. Well, that tells me that I have a 3 in the hundreds spot. But the next one is already jumping to a fraction, so I can tell myself it didn't have anything in the tens. I didn't have any digit in the ones place. And now I'm ready for a fraction because that's my next one. And I have 9 times 1/10. So I'm going to put a 9 in there. And 2 times 100, or I'm sorry, 100th. And so I put a 2 here. And then I will get 100ths because that's my last place value. So my whole number is 392 hundredths. So now your job is to finish it as decimals. Great work today, friends. That was a lot of work. Take a picture when you're finished and submit it.